answer, we'll get back to it.
Yeah, if that is correct, Emily, let us know so we can go ahead and address that properly. Yeah, is that a thumbs up for you, Emily?
No, that's the thumbs up
Oh,
for
okay.
me.
Okay, whatever. But all right, so merging families. Now, I know I have been part of a merging family for quite
Some
some
time now.
time. Like I merged twice.
Dun, dun.
I merged twice because for those that knows me personally, I actually had my first son at 18, and then I got married at 21, and then that so I had to merge my son into
Into
that marriage
with
with
children.
with children because he
Right.
had children, grown children. And
Well,
so they were in their teens already. So then I had to be a mother to teenagers and a baby at the same time.
right.
So there was like, and teenagers were already grown. They were already grown. So that was crazy in its own. And I was 21. So being a 21-year-old,
Raising like somebody
raising
5 years younger than you. It's like raising your baby sister. Baby
raising,
brother.
yes, I was like raising 13 and
But
14 year old children. It was like, oh my
it takes
god.
a good spirited, hard working woman to do that.
It was hard,
Patience too.
y'all. It was hard. So what was your situation?
No, my situation is different. I actually ended up having a bonus dad for my son.
Okay, so you
So
didn't
I had
go
my right.
into.
I had my son previous to marriage, um, outside of my marriage, and then I came into my marriage with my child.
Okay, and he didn't have another child, so it was just y'all.
Right.
Yeah, mine was quite different. And then even with
Yeah.
my second experience, in my second marriage, it
It was
was
the same
like
thing.
it was the same thing, bringing now two
Two
children
children into a
into
yeah.
a household where he also had
Had-
two children. So then it became
They were
a.
the real Brady Bunch.
We
Y'all.
were the real Brady
They were the real
Bunch.
Brady Bunch.
Yeah, and then we added three more children on top of that. So
If y'all lost count, that's like 20. That's 20.
no, that was not 20.
Okay, we got a
Okay,
clarification
so
from
we have a
Emily.
clarification from Emily. So what happened?
Married to their father, and
Uh-huh.
from day one, she has been doing the too much.
Okay.
Has gone as far as lying to the ooh,
Oh, lying
telling
to the
them we
cops.
argue and we don't even talk because she the type of person she is. Oh, Emily, I'm with you though.
Emily.
Patient. I'm with you though.
I know, girl. You
It
need
hurt.
Jesus. You need God. You need the Holy
Holy
Ghost.
Spirit.
You need
need
the
the-
Virgin Mary if you're Catholic.
Why your prayer blanket? You need to lend her.
I need
The
to lay
prayer-
her my prayer shawl.
Listen, Emily, I'm sorry. I'm gonna apologize for
Yes,
her.
you're going
to
through it,
you,
baby. You're
boo.
going through it. Because the thing is that we don't
Some people-
understand is that we at times get into the relationships thinking, okay, we're getting into the relationships with the husband.
Mhm.
We're getting into the relationships with the wives, not understanding that merging actually involves the external parent
Yeah.
into the role. It involves, the wife, the ex-wife, the ex-girlfriend,
Yeah.
the baby mama.
And you know what? That brings me to that leads me to believe, Emily, too, that she's still hurt in her own way. Remember
Right.
the last topic we had
Right.
was letting go, being healed from
Right.
an issue or from a something in your relationship. She's probably still harboring
Yeah.
something that she doesn't want to
Yeah.
let go.
I agree.
Emily, answer me one question. Is she involved with somebody else? That's what
Is she married?
does she have a SO, a significant other? Let me know that answer, Emily. Let me know.
Yeah, because that can definitely make a huge
Yeah.
difference in the person's reactions to what you're doing with
Or
their
what you're
past
doing.
partner.
Exactly.
Because that's your husband now. But if there is any mental attachment, any
he probably had moved on and
Of course
she's
he
not
moved
ready, you
on.
know,
Of course he
or
moved on.
she's
He's
using
married to her.
right, exactly. He moved on, but she probably wasn't ready to let that feeling, that
Yeah.
emotion go.
Yeah.
Something inside of her.
And
Not saying that we're giving her an excuse. See,
right.
no,
See,
she
no,
is
she
not,
doesn't have
and that's
anybody in
exactly
her
why she's
life.
not preoccupying herself.
Mhm.
She's not preoccupying herself productively. That she has so much time to give you guys
I
so much
agree.
work.
I
So,
agree. I agree. But girl, let me tell you something. We're gonna pray for that one,
we're gonna
okay?
do that.
I'm gonna add you on my prayer, Emily. You know, we're definitely going to go ahead and touch and agree
Agree
with
with
that.
you, yeah.
Because again, you know, and I emphasize on this a lot, guys, because this is a biblical concept for me and it's personal in my life, is that we do not fight flesh and blood, but we
But
fight principalities.
spirits and
And,
principalities.
and whenever you have that mindset, you know that you're not just fighting that person, because that person have only one mentality, and that's to kill, steal, and destroy.
Yeah.
Now, rather they are walking in the spirit of truth or they're walking in the spirit of lies.
Yeah.
Whichever way, it's still a spirit of destruction. So they're trying to disrupt whatever you have at home. So if that is mentally, they want to cause you. If they say, you know what, I can't break this family up.
To get my book, The Hurting Woman.
The purpose
Hey,
for
she
pain.
probably
There
do.
you go. Yes, because
And I'm
if
glad
she's
you use
not
that
trying
productively, you know.
to, you know, to be delivered or to attack you physically, she can't do that. So she has to try to get in your head.
Or
So
your
in your
relationship,
relationship,
bring some
whichever way,
toxicity in your
whichever way,
relationship.
whichever way.
Son and vice versa, and that in turn allowed them to have a great father-son relationship. Now, I'm not trying to replace the father because he has his dad, but he did find that sense of security in my ex-husband.
So kind of like that daddy and father thing.
Yeah,
you know, it's like you're my father, but you're my daddy.
Right.
You know, okay. So did they click well, like in terms of, you know, because you can have a child that although they find that love, they find that fatherly figure, but there would be some type of, because he was young though.
My child was young.
Okay,
that's
yeah,
the thing.
he
My
was
son was young. My son was like going on 2, like he was 1.
Yeah, so he was a baby.
So he met him when he was in diapers still, you could say, potty training and got in diapers. But the thing is, my son was very cognitive on that situation because what ended up happening when I first introduced my ex-husband to my son, he couldn't stand my ex-husband. I'm sorry. He's like, who are you?
At that 2 years old.
Exactly. He was like in that mid area. He's like, who are you? Why are you around me? Why are you around my mama? We had this situation going.
Mama, who sent you?
Return the sender. I'm talking about I created this the atmosphere at Chuck E. Cheese. You know, all kids like Chuck E. Cheese, you know. So I told him, you know, meet me at Chuck E. Cheese. I'm bringing we're gonna get to that. Marcus, we're gonna get to that. So I'm bringing my son. Now we're at a space where I could introduce you to my son, because now I see that, you know, you're here for what I think is the permanent situation, you know? So when I introduced him, he came and my son wouldn't go to him. He wouldn't even budge. Every time he'd like try to do like a little high five, my son was like, bruh, fall back. fall. Like no,
Half out
and
these shoulders right
exactly.
quick.
And it got so bad. Like I had coins for them to play games. You know, I bought some coins before he came to play games, and I gave it to my ex-husband, and he was holding the thing.
You're trying to trick him.
And my son went to snatch the. And he gave it back to me.
And you know what? I mean, as a 2-year-old, right? As a 2-year-old, we see how they can be reluctant. Like they can be like, so like who you and who sent you?
Why
You know,
you
mentality. So imagine
older children
like myself, when I went into my first marriage, my stepchildren were older. They were, you know, again, I believe my stepdaughter at that time, she was 13, and 13, you know, year old, coming from New York, fast life, you know, like fast already, you know things, know how to move, exactly. And you know how to
street
move, and street smart and involved and whatever. So when she came in, and here I am at 21, trying to be a mama to her. She's like,
I ain't having it. Who you? Listen, lady, I've been doing this, okay? I've been doing this. I've been running this. I don't know who you are.
Like, girl,
stop playing with life.
What you telling me? Who you telling me what to go in, come where, do what, go to what school? Like, you know? And then I was like, I can't do it.
But you know what? I'm glad that there was some corrections made.
Of course. And the thing about it for me is that, like, I practically raised my sisters, you know, apart from my mother when she's not around. I practically was the big sister. So I helped and I assisted.
I don't know what she's talking about. I raised myself, okay? I raised myself. I changed my own diapers, okay?
So it was like, okay, I was used to dealing with them, you know, being their teenagers' lives. So I dealt with that. But going into a household of my own, being a mother, you know, to teenagers, you know, at the age of 21, that was crazy for me. So the merging process for me was different because I was doing it with teenagers, where you were doing it with a child. So you can imagine, you know, the struggles that you would get. Right. But now let me ask you, what was some of the bad things that you think that happens when a family merge?
Because for me, it was the issue with that don't call him daddy, that ain't your daddy, from my son's father, you know, and he was like boom boom boom. I'm talking about pound on your chest, the outside. And my son, I never, you know, for me, I never forced my son to call my ex-husband dad. He did that willingly. He did that, you know. He and my ex-husband was actually fragile with that conversation with him. He's like, whatever you want to call me, feel comfortable to call me, you know? Right. So he was okay with whatever his name was with my son, but my son's father, my son's father, he was like, I'm gonna beat him if he did it. And I'm like, don't beat my child. I'm sitting here trying to defend my baby.
Can I call him daddy? Because daddy said I can't call him daddy.
So you know what my son did? My son my son at a very young age realized, this hurts my dad. This might be comfortable for me, but this hurts my dad. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to call my dad, because that's my dad. But when I'm around, which was my ex-husband, when I'm around my ex-husband, I'll call him dad. But if my dad is around my ex-husband, I'll make sure I'll call him by his name rather than dad, so my dad feeling doesn't get hurt, and my stepfather would understand. My baby was on it, baby.
You know, because that's something that at times we force children to do.
Yeah.
You know, not even, you know, the other parent, because I know there are moms and there are dads out there that's like, listen, that's Tom to you.
Exactly.
Don't and you that's call Mary. And like, you better not call
you
her.
You only got but one mama. You got one daddy.
You know, like that's John. You call him John. And this is Mary, you call her Mary. Or Auntie Mary, ma'am, you name her something other than mama. Like, that's not your mom. And we do that. And what happened is we cause some type of confusion.
Like, what is that person's place in their life?
Exactly. Really, and this is where I think the disrespectful level starts to play a role. Because if we are not able to address the person properly, and understand the role that they play in our children's life, and we set that tone for disrespect. I mean, you gonna come to me and call me Nancy?
You better put a miss in front of that then. Miss Nancy.
We gonna have a problem. You
I mean-
understand? Like I had my stepkids called me Nancy for the first couple of weeks, but after that it was like, you know, either mom or Miss Nancy or you know, something. You address me by something in front of my name.
With the you know,
Right,
higher grade.
but you're not just gonna be calling me Nancy, you know, like, no, baby.
That's like putting you at the same level.
No, me and you ain't kins.
Yeah, well, y'all are by marriage.
No, not like that. We're not friends.
That's what you meant.
We're not friends. Okay. So this is like another thing that we do that we have to address. Like, we cannot allow our children to disrespect the other person that is playing a role in their lives because we feel some type of way and not allowing the person to properly parent that child because of how you feel personally as the outside parent
Looking in, right?
Yeah, as the outside parent. But okay, for me, I think one of the bad things that I felt with merging for me is the lack of respect.
The lack of respect.
Oh, the lack of respect from the child coming in. Like, for me, it was like, you know, hands down, you're not gonna respect me, boo-boo. It's out of the box. And we get that all the time. We have some questions?
Well, comment. When merging families, I found that misunderstanding personalities and finding a middle ground tends to create issues. Kind of do, especially when you're taking somebody with you're taking people with two different upbringings. You're taking two people from different upbringings. You're taking people from two different backgrounds. Two different living circumstances. Everything like that. You're bringing them together to be one, and now you're bringing something as if that's not already frustrating that you're learning each other. Now you have to acquire a child, or you get what I'm saying. So different personalities can bring a lot of conflict.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. Like, for my culture, when you walk into a room,
you have to kiss
everybody in the room. You gotta literally go to you know, if there's 20 people in the room,
just hope you're the first one there, okay? Because then everybody gotta kiss you.
But if you're a child and you walk into a room in my culture, you know, for those that don't know, we're Haitian.
Hi, Mom!
And hey, Mom, see, my mom's on here. She can attest to it. You walk into a room, you gotta kiss everybody in that room.
And if you miss somebody, that's disrespectful. Oh my God.
Disrespectful. How could you? How dare you?
Why did you do that?
See so
they saw you.
Yes, so it's like,
I'm sorry. I lost count. My bad.
It's like, man, you done murked somebody by doing that. And then they go and report to you like, oh,
so now you don't respect me, now you don't like me.
So thinks she grown now because she don't want to kiss nobody no more.
Now she big and grown.
All of that like plays a role. All of that plays a role, guys. So whenever now you have a child coming in that's from a different culture, a different background, you have to teach that to the child. Like, you have to teach your way to the child, and sometimes the disrespectful can kick in. And for me, that was what I dealt with. I dealt with the disrespectful because I felt as if that and it's not that they were disrespectful children.
It's just that they were coming in an unfamiliar situation.
They were coming into an unfamiliar culture, an unfamiliar way of living.
See, at least me and my ex-husband had a similar culture situation. But
mine was quite different. On my first marriage, my first marriage was extremely different. That was like British, Jamaican, and Haitian.
Now you're figuring out left from right.
It's like, you kiss who? Like, you know, I had to teach my first husband, when you walk in, babe, you got to go kiss everybody.
Or not kiss. Kiss the women.
Kiss the women and handshake the man. You know, give the man a handshake. So you got to do all of that. So all of that you have to teach, again, the husband or the man in your life. And then you have to teach that to the children that's coming in. And you teaching every single step of what applies in your household. And that's where you can kind of bump heads. And then that can lead some disrespecting things happening. But now, how do you deal with disrespectful in your household? Like,
from a child,
you know, to a child, you know, how would you handle disrespecting from a child?
From a child or to a child?
Well, you the parent, hopefully, you as the parent not disrespecting the child. Hopefully you're grown enough to not be disrespecting a child because he's a child or she's a child. That does not mean
Well,
that
we're
she
going
don't
to
have
touch base
feelings
on that
and emotions.
because that's part of the disciplinary abuse type of situation, right? We could say that.
Right, yeah. We're gonna go into
but how
that.
do you address a child
Just
disrespecting?
disrespectful, like
First,
a verbal
okay.
disrespecting.
So me not being able to speak from experience, what I would expect, especially now that I am, single, and a lot of men now have our parents have children, have grandchildren, and I'm walking into situations,
Right.
Knowing this. Right. Knowing this, I'm expecting that first, if I have to address it, I'm going to address it to their parent,
Okay.
my significant other, because first and foremost, that's where that's where their whole background, they understand. Exactly. I understand that I'm there now, but they were raised with this one parent, or however way they were raised with this one parent when they were around that one parent.
Right.
So I would address it to them first.
Right.
Now my mom said, how it says, "Mabay Kaila." Mabayo Kaila. Basically what that mean is, I'm gonna give you the house. I'm not gonna fight no little kid. I'm not gonna go to that level. I'm an adult. You are a child. You need to learn respect.
Yeah.
Put some respect on my name, and before I go ahead and end up on some rooftop, or before I go ahead and smack fire from a disrespectful mouth, because I would never do that, because that's not my place.
Right.
You
Okay. So let's go to the next level now, because this is the part I think everybody is very want to know about. They're like, okay, now how do you go about disciplining a stepchild? Do you believe in disciplinary actions towards a stepchild? And would you allow?
Hold on, before I answer that, I'm married to a woman from a different culture, and we have a blended family, and I must say there's not one general rule for this dynamic. There isn't.
No, there isn't.
You're
Definitely
right,
not, Jamesley. No, there is no one rule that applies, because again, like I said, I've been married twice, and twice have been different cultures and different ways of looking into things. It really depends on how you and your household is run. And that's basically how you would go from that. So
for me, if I'm married to, when I got married and my son came into the situation permanently and all of that good stuff, I'm not gonna lie, at the time I put trust in my husband to know that he was not going to abuse my son. But what I didn't do is I did not undermine my husband. If he says, do this to my son, and my son looking at me, I'm like, did you hear him?
Right.
I'm gonna take my husband.
You enforce.
I am enforcing what my husband, because at the end of the day, when my child leaves to college, or what I was expecting, when my child leaves the nest, it's me and my husband. I'm sorry, bruh, you gotta go. And it's me and my husband. So I enforced what he said, and as far as disciplining, when he needed to, pop him here or do that there in the beginning, and this is my little confession that he probably doesn't know. In the beginning, what's the word? No. In the beginning, I was like, when he would discipline him and everything like that, I'll be like at the corner, like looking like.
Is he gonna kill him?
I'll be in the peak of the door like this. I'm not even gonna lie, y'all, because this is my first time merging into a family with somebody else. So I know that his dad ain't gonna kill him, but this is something new for me and this new guy. So I'm sitting there peeking and. And this lasts probably I want to say 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
Until you got comfortable.
And then I got comfortable knowing that he wasn't going to push those boundaries. But if he needed another level of discipline, he would come to me and he would say, Jenny, this is the issue. I don't want to beat him this way, but this is the issue. It needs to be addressed. And me, I ain't got no restraint with my son, because that's my baby. I don't, you get what I'm saying?
Well, for me, it's like this for me. And this is what I believe, okay? First and foremost, that's why it is highly important that we enter relationships where we know that we are with individuals that are capable of being good parents.
That you can leave them home
That's
with,
like
and you
step
can,
number one. Like, do your homework before you say I do. Before you get pull that background check,
bro. You better Google his name.
you know,
Listen,
pull that background
what's his
check.
name? John
do
Jacob?
background check.
Hold on,
See
John
what
Jacob.
type
Hold
of record
on.
this person have. Are they have a pedophile record?
God.
You know, do they have
An
arrest record? Abusive.
Battery record.
Battery
Things
charges.
like that.
You know,
I need to do
they
some
have
homework.
abuse, you know, records. Like, you need to pull that man record or pull that woman's
if
record.
they have a domestic violence,
so you can
like, you have to
see
do homework.
what type of
guys.
person you're dealing with. So that's step number one. Hopefully, we did all that before we said I do.
Hello.
You know, but secondly, when we did enter a relationship with that person, I believe that you have to, first of all, you know, you have to sit down with the person and said, okay, John Jacob Smith, you know, I got 5 children. I'm speaking, you know, like on me. I have 5 kids. You know, I have 5 kids and 3 are toddlers. So they're at that age right now where they're going through their whole learning stage, you know, but I have 5 children. And this is how I discipline my children. I agree that my partner would have some type of discipline action towards the children, especially if it's done in love and it's done with respect, and it's done in a way where it's not abuse, because there's a very thin line.
Yes, between
very thin line between disciplining a child and abusing a child. And that's why I emphasize on making sure that the person that you're with don't have a record of being, you know, crazy, and you know, and definitely is, you know, a person that has some type of moral concept of how to raise a child and don't go overboard when it's time to discipline. But I agree with you, like, whenever my children get disciplined, stepdaddy or real daddy or not, I'm like, like, I feel like each whoop, it's like me.
Give him pity, give him pity.
You know, each whoop is like, I feel like I'm getting the lashes. I'm like, okay.
See, she's sympathetic. I'm not. If a child deserves to get their butt whooped,
there's just certain hits you just feel in your gut. We have a question.
We have, one. You ladies do know the male perspective is different in all of this, right? Let me ask you a question.
Yes.
Could we invite him on?
James Lee, would you like to come on live right now with us? We can invite you live so you can give your point of view, your perspective. We would like to
let
do
me
that.
know
So
if it's okay, and we'll bring you on the screen.
We'll bring you on the screen right now, and you can give your man
perspective. Okay?
Yeah, I would love that.
See, I got you. You want the man perspective? You be the man to give the perspective.
Let's do that. Let's do that. You know?
And anybody, he said yes. Good.
Yes. Okay, so
we're gonna invite you right now. Give me a second. Let me finish read these, and I'm gonna invite you right now.
Yeah, but definitely, guys.
And my mom. You guys, my mom.
What mom had to say? Alrighty, let's add James Lee. Okay,
give me a second.
We're adding James Lee on, guys, because he wants to give us the male
point of view. Jeff.
Hi, Jeff. How are you?
Hi, James Lee. How are you? So give us one moment. Let me finish read our comments, and then we're gonna go to you. Okay? My mom, of course, my mom Janine. Y'all see her name? That's
Go ahead.
You have to treat your children with kind, respect, and love.
Yes, Mom.
Somebody said, I don't believe wonderful words can come out of you guys. Oosh! And about discipline and respect. I know Americans to be rude. Well, not all American. You can't generalize everybody that you meet, okay? So there's some
All right,
people that
so James
respects.
Lee, back to you. So what is your point of view on discipline? Because you said that there's a different way of addressing this in a male's point of view. So what are your thoughts on disciplining children, merging family? That's within a merging family. So stepchildren, exactly, to be exact.
Well, first, let me say you guys are doing a great job.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
We appreciate you viewing.
And
Thank
y'all
you.
get topics which are real and true to my heart. So every now and then I try to lay in some of my
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now,
Appreciate you.
from a male's perspective, I'm a guy who's married into a blended family. And I also had a child prior to marriage, so which means my daughter is also being raised by another man.
Mm-hmm.
So there were a lot of things that I needed to learn from and also adjust in my family.
Right.
From a male's perspective, especially when you have a daughter, you don't want to see another man.
Amen.
People will fight for that.
At the beginning of it all, I had to have a talk to my daughter's mother and say, hey, how is this going to work?
Right.
And I said, let me speak to him. I would like to have a conversation with him.
Yeah.
And I called him. We spoke. He understood where I was coming from. And I said, hey, I would prefer if you had an issue, you talk to me.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, no. You know, he said, in my house, I want to be the man of my house.
James Lee,
Oh,
did you agree
wow.
with that?
What he was willing to do was he would talk to me of what happened.
Okay.
He would talk to me if there's a problem. He would speak to me, but he didn't want to call me in every situation.
Exactly.
Wow.
I agree.
And yeah.
I'm also in his shoes because I'm also raising daughters
From
my
outside.
relationship.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to understand that and humble myself and
Exactly.
to the mother and said, hey, if things get out of hand, I'm expecting for you to call me because I had a relationship with you, not with you.
Right.
Right.
Oh my
And
goodness.
overall, it works out. My biggest issue of it all was that she wanted him to call. My daughter's mother she didn't want to be called by her name. She said, she's going to call her dad. And again, I had to humble myself.
That was a humbling experience. So you had to talk to Jesus a little bit, right?
No, not my baby. No.
What happened is your ego get in the way.
Yes.
Agree.
Yeah, I agree.
You start thinking about what's best for your kid, what's respectful. If you
I
raise a girl, I
agree.
don't want him calling the man by his first name. I don't want him calling him by a pet name.
Right.
He's that. He's that at home. When I'm around, I'm that.
Exactly.
So her friendship-
Okay, something similar to what I was talking about with my son.
Right, because that's what she said earlier. Is that
He differentiated when he was with his dad versus when he was with his stepfather.
Right. Okay. Good. I really enjoyed
my
you.
daughter at that time, she's old enough to know the difference.
Okay.
She's old enough to know that's her stepdad.
Yeah.
So it doesn't bother me as much as it used to when she was younger because I think he got in her life when she was like 5 or 6.
Okay.
She's now 18. So it's been a very, very humbling experience. It's been one of those, but it hasn't been a bad experience.
Okay.
Okay.
Because dude is not a bad guy.
Good.
And that's what makes
The transition.
the biggest difference.
Yeah,
and,
it
and
makes the transition a bit easier because you know this person is for example, I have my son's stepmother who I'm humbled by her in this experience. Like we had to go through it first before we got to our situation. But I could rely on her as a stepmom,
right?
And he refers to her as mommy so and so. I can't say her name, but it humbled me because I'm like, okay, not every woman is out to hurt your child. Not every woman is not going to have the best interest for your child.
Right,
you know,
right. And the fact that you communicated with him, and you
That's
guys addressed that because
some
not
people
a lot of people
won't do it.
No, honey, they will not do that.
That had to happen on the front end. That had to happen way in the beginning before they even got married.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
I definitely do agree with that.
I'm always around, so I'm not one of those fathers that's gonna be missing, and you feel like you have to do what you have to do. I'm here and I'm here to stay. So
Hey, yeah.
understand that
I was
I'm
gonna
not
say,
going
amen.
Amen.
clear, and it wasn't about me boasting or trying to punk him. It was more about, hey man, I understand you
Yeah.
got something going on with her, but understand that I have to.
Yeah, you're not being replaced.
Yeah, no,
I'll
definitely.
I will call and I will do this. I'll show up.
Right.
You know? So you have to understand there's a relationship that was here prior to getting here, and he respected that, and that has worked out in my favor.
Awesome.
Now, on the other hand, and that's just my daughter prior to getting married. Like I said, I'm in a blended family now, and I've been in their lives since they were in diapers.
Yeah.
And I don't necessarily demand that they call me dad. I feel like if that's something they want to do,
It's a
that's
choice.
But do they?
fine. But it's a choice. They do not. But they understand that I play a fatherly role in their life.
Yeah,
Right.
you're that.
They understand
Mhm.
because when it comes to my household, I set the rules, I set the discipline,
Hello.
and I discipline them just like I'll discipline anyone
Hello.
else.
Right.
Now, how does your wife takes that? How did she respond
The
to it?
disciplinary part of you coming
Yeah.
in and disciplining your stepchildren. Now, how did that transition for you?
For your
your
wife?
household.
Yeah.
My wife is American and I'm Haitian.
Whoop whoop. Are you
I'm
serious?
a
I'm sorry.
Haitian parent.
I told y'all Americans and Haitians make good couples.
Right. So I believe we discipline differently.
Mhm.
And because we are girls, I don't whoop them. I don't hit them, but I do punk them. I do get in their face. I do let them know that you're not gonna roll.
Do the little,
You do the Haitian piscone?
the college, you know, the stare.
I do the
I do. You Haitian for real.
That's a real Haitian move. Hey, knees
I
right
do.
now.
Right.
Croisez mille.
And fold your hands.
Each one of them are different kids, so the level of discipline that I need with
Yes.
is different.
Yeah,
Where
yeah,
one
without a
I need
doubt.
to work, and I know the other one I need to be like,
A little more stern.
I'm a big dude. There's no way you're gonna take me.
Yeah, you're a little more stern,
We can
yeah.
go do this all day. I just present my dominance, and that works.
Yes.
But my wife has no problem with it.
Okay.
Yes.
100%. She understands that I am head of household. She allowed me to have full range, and she trusts whatever it is that I have.
Somebody
There
said
you
y'all
go.
make the best of couples.
Now,
Yes,
not saying that
Americans
she
and
doesn't go
Haitians.
back in the back end and probably sweet talk mother thing, which I'm sure she does. But it's always good cop, bad cop. I'm gonna be bad cop anyways because she's mom, she's hugging, she's this, and when I'm like no,
Right,
when I say no,
right.
no, that's just that.
Yeah,
You know,
awesome,
so
awesome,
it works.
awesome.
And what I was trying to say to you all, that's for the male perspective, like again, we're so driven by ego when it comes to the family, and when you have a blended family,
Right.
oftentimes we don't want to hear what the other father has to say.
There
Oftentimes
go
we
wife.
want to hear what any other man has to say when it comes to your home. I am open. Oh, here's my wife.
Exactly. I said, there go wife. She talking.
Right. So I am open to any advice, any concerns that dad may have.
Right.
In regard to
Right.
the girl, just like I expect for Lloyd to be open when I have something to say. And
Right.
he is.
Agreed.
So I'm open to it all, but it's just
Yeah.
a matter of how you approach it, and also understand that I am the man in my house, and you have to allow me to rule freely.
Of
Otherwise-
course,
Exactly.
of course, and I believe that any woman that would not allow the man of the house
And
to
that goes to
step
respect.
in, it goes in with the respect of the man and respect of the household. Any
It
woman
works.
that does not allow that man to be the man of the house,
even with
you're
disciplining.
shortchanging yourself.
Exactly.
You're really truly shortchanging yourself in the
Right.
benefit of the house because even biblically it says that the man is the head.
The
The man is the head. So as long as a woman understands that concept
yeah.
and understands that level of respect that a man needs to get in a home, then the rest is just inevitable. Like it's
As far as parenting, definitely.
Yeah.
Oftentimes I feel like women that has been in relationships that have been hurt, have been damaged, and whenever a new man come along, there's a step where a period of time where they kind of keep the family, the kids away from the man, and they don't allow him to fully rule and fully be engaged with the children. And I get that.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to be really transparent. That's how
did
I
that.
am now.
Yeah.
As I am courting, like people are trying to court me, trying to get to know me, and outside of social media, you're not gonna know my child until I feel it's safe, because I'm supposed to be Mama Bear, Mama Lioness, protecting my cubs,
Right.
protecting my my babies.
But once you're dating, then it's a different level. Like once
And
you
like
are
I said, but with
in
my
that committed relationship,
and with my ex-husband, that's what I did. I kind of sheltered my son until I knew it was something substantial
It was
to
safe
present
enough.
to my son.
yeah, that it was safe enough. It was safe haven for him. Well, James Lee, I really,
Right.
really.
And what I'm saying is, by the time you get into marriage, I mean, the kid should already have known this person.
Yeah, an
It's not
establishment.
enough for you to marry this person.
Right.
Exactly.
You know, that should already been established. And what I'm saying is that, and then once you are married, there should be any problem with you protecting your children. If you have to protect your children away from your spouse, there is an issue there.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Regardless
definitely.
if they are, blood or not. If you have to protect your children away from the person that you're with, then that's a bigger issue than this conversation.
Yeah, but you know what? It does take that time. It does take time to get to know the person that you're with.
Okay, James, I have a question for you. If the child, because I understand that we, once we come together, everything is beautiful, and once the two households merging properly, everything is beautiful. But what happens if that child now starts to become combative and start putting a division between the two in the household, between mom and dad? Because what tends to happen is, and I've experienced this myself, where if the child is not rubbing shoulder with the father or with the stepmother, and they're like, well, I don't like them, and then they start creating stories or creating lies, or things just start, just going down, just terrible.
Yeah.
It gets crazy in that house. How would you handle something like that? Just the male point of view. Like, how would you handle an issue like that?
Now, on a personal level, because I am raising daughters, I'm raising girls, and especially two of them are from another father, there's a reason why I don't whoop them. There's a reason why I don't do certain things, because I understand
the storyline.
There is a line there that I must never cross.
Mm-hmm.
And part of that line is for them to always feel safe with me, for them to always feel as if I'm not going to take advantage of them, and I'm not doing things because I'm not their paternal dad.
Right.
So
because the thing is that there are children.
That division was
right, because there are children that are not obedient.
Or
they're not so understanding.
Like,
so
especially
you're
raising daughters, or you're a bonus dad to two girls. The minute there's some girls that the minute you tell them no, you can't have this, or no, it's not a factor of popping them, or
it's not a disciplining them. At that point.
You could easily, because we're emotional. You tell us no, we're gonna cry, we're gonna pout, and then now it's and that could easily be translated to, okay, well, I'm not no longer feeling a certain comfort with him because he told me no.
Right. So then they start, making up lies or causing chaos in the house. So my question to you then is, what is it that you do? If you would,
as a male point of view,
and just as a male point of view, I'm not saying that's something you've experienced, but as from a man's point of view, if you were to encounter something like that, what advice would you give to a man that is facing something like this?
It's a difficult question because I can answer that.
Okay.
But the thing is that the adults in the home needs to be well aware of one another to know if child number one comes and say, hey, adult number two did this, to where you can say no way. And you have to
wouldn't do that
as a team, because they will play division.
Right.
Even if the kid is not a troublemaker. I mean, my 9-year-old will ask me one thing and I say no, and she'll go back and ask her mother, and if they're her mother will say yes. She may not know she's causing division, but she's playing us because she knows mom will give it and dad may not.
Yeah.
So therefore, the parents, the adults in the home, need to make sure. Again, that's where that trust comes from.
Yep, I'll be straight ready to say what your daddy said.
Being rooted in Christ, teaching foundational principles, and all that. When all that is in place, and you have those roots, to where if anyone was to come in and say, hey, any one of the kids say, hey, dad did this, and he's that.
Right.
No, he didn't.
Awesome, James Lee.
You have to stick to your rules, and you can't allow for them to play because kids will do it.
They will. Yeah. Awesome. James Lee, this
Right.
This has been really, really wonderful.
Insightful. We finally have a man here.
love your responses. I love your point of view. I mean, I know we went to TT for a reason. But you know, being my classmate.
Well, I'm happy you guys, but I really appreciate you all trying to allow me to come in and express my views.
Yeah, no worries, no worries.
Like I can't type fast enough to keep up.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Continue doing what y'all doing, and the crowd will grow.
Amen.
I can see this blowing up into something major.
You think so? Well, pray. We're touching it.
We're touching and agreeing.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much,
James Lee. I appreciate it.
You enjoy your night. Tell your wife. Thank you
wife.
for letting us borrow him.
Thanks, guys. So
You
keep watching. We have some more questions. You know, definitely. I mean, that was awesome.
Yeah. I mean, if you guys feel as though we might end up doing that, if you guys want to chime in.
Yeah, you know, like I said, we are open to your suggestions. We're open to your questions. So we do have like an open platform where if you have something to say
Then
and you have
say
some
it.
discussions, just say it. And yes, I believe in Haitians and American relationships. She don't know.
I don't look. I didn't say I don't believe in them. I didn't say that. You know, I love that is beautiful. Trust me. And I see that it's just growing. So
I'm
God
gonna
bless
give
you
me an
guys.
American man next.
You do that. So in other news. But no. But again, thank you again, James Lee. Just continue to watch.
Okay, so this is the question that I have, and if somebody, well, I don't know if we have more time to do that, but let's say that if somebody want to chip in and come on, that would be great. But let's say that you are in a relationship. Okay, you're married,
okay.
right? Married, not just in a relationship, but you're married, and now the
Let me sit up and tell you no to your face. No, sir.
okay, why
No,
not?
I wouldn't relocate my child. First of all,
let's say that this is a child that is just, you know, that you just, oh my God, you know, that's just giving you the business in the house. And the peace that you would have is shipping that child off to a boot camp, or shipping them off to be with mom, or shipping them off to be with dad. Would that be something you would get into?
Farrah, right? She just giving me these tough old questions, Farrah. Farrah, tell us
That's a tough one, Farrah. Farrah, would you like to elaborate on that? Like, is that something you would like to come on and address? This is a serious question.
I know,
because it happens. Guys, it happens.
I know that, you know, for me, I wouldn't. I don't want to say I'm so attached to my children, but I'm their mom. Although I'm with my husband and I love my husband, I'm supposed to love him. He's the head of the house. He's supposed to be put first after God and all of that good stuff. We have to find a way to work on corrections we need to do for our child, being that you're married into this, so this is what you're doing. Because if it was your child, you wouldn't just ship your child off to Timbuktu somewhere just for their behavior. You would find out what's causing it, find out what can we do to fix it. We would fix it instead of trying to get rid of the issue.
So now this is my question to you. If this was not a merged marriage, this was not a merged relationship or stepfather or stepmother coming in, and this was the actual father of your child, and you're both mother and father to that child, and that biological mom, biological dad, and that child is being a troubled child, and the only result is for you to send them to a boot camp, would you do that?
That's not the only result, it goes the same as saying with my married or blended or biological.
So you would not seek outside help.
We're going to figure it out. We can seek outside help without sending him off. Let's go to a counselor. You got some anger.
Let's say counselor don't work.
Counselor don't work. Let's find another. We're going to have to find another alternate before I send my child out. It has to be like near death, like he's about to put himself in danger, in harm's way. He's about to jump in front of.
That's the face. Because I'm thinking about the worst possible outcome. That this child is basically, you just want to wash your hands from this child. You know, like this child is just
I would
there.
never want to wash my hands from this. Oh God, I would never. Even you know what?
It happens, guys. It happens. And at times we do not want to acknowledge. We do not want to acknowledge. What did you say, Farah? I've never need that in a situation personally, but I've seen moms who can't deal with their sons, especially teenage boys, and they sent their sons off. So
there's some people, okay, I'm Haitian. We work it out. Yes,
just threaten that you send them to Haiti. That should work. So it's like, again, shipping the child away.
The thing is, for me, even if I was in a blended relationship, a blended marriage where the child is now coming in, and this child that is now coming in, because I'm a lover, although I'm very stern with my children, I'm a lover of children. You understand? I want the best for you guys, and I want the best. I want to see the best out of you, and I don't care if I know you for 20 days or 20 minutes. I'm gonna, grow that attachment real quick, because children are so innocent, and sometimes they get lost in their way. You understand? And it's up to you as parents to guide them. So I feel as though
I'm just gonna say this, like in Hebrews 12:11, it says, "No discipline seems pleasant at the time, but painful. Later on, however, it produces a harvest of righteousness and peace for those who have been trained by it." So I know it's hard to think of the worst possible disciplinary action that we can take on a child. Like, it's like, oh my God, like I would never do this.
I'm sitting here
she's like twiddling her thumbs. She's ready to like fall out. But at the end of the day, for me, I feel that if I have a child that would just like hands down, like you out of it, like my blood pressure is 220 over, 170. I'm about to have a heart attack over you. Oh baby, we shipping you somewhere. Yes, we are. We're shipping you somewhere. And then when you ship
them and then they come back and they're still the same way.
Because then this is the thing. It depends on where. No, it depends on the concept of where and how and what you're doing with that child. Because you can ship them into a and I've seen this happen before, personally, where they're shipped to an army base or a boot camp of some sort. And 9 out of 10, they come back pretty well.
Sometimes they don't.
Sometimes it's a very small percentage, but at times they come back really well. But what is the percentage now of leaving this child on the street, being a drug dealer, being a drug addict, being around the wrong friends, doing the wrong thing,
like ghosts,
like
ghosts from Power. That's coming on July 1st.
Did you just mark it?
No, I'm gonna be sitting there watching. That's not. And it's going to be cutting into this show.
So my point is, at times we tolerate, the worst things in our children. And then later on, we're like, well, I shoulda, coulda, woulda. I don't think that's not for me. I think, ship them.
Don't ship them.
Ship them. If daddy can get that butt right,
put them in the
ship them. If mommy can get that butt right, ship them. If Haiti can get that butt right,
put them right here.
Ship them. Get them right, Lord. Get them right. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't do us any good for us to just...
Find a way.
Yeah, that is finding a way.
With you staying.
Proverbs 13:24, Proverbs 29:15, Proverbs 29:17. It goes on and on and on. Whoever spares the rod hates their children, but the one who loves their children, careful to discipline them.
I'll discipline you in my house. Si c'est un bâton maison chaque jour, if it's a bâton you looking for every day, I'll give that to you, baby. I'll give it to you.
You know,
From my heart.
it's, you know, and it goes on, guys. Like, disciplining is not the problem. It's when we do not discipline our children. That's when we end up with the issue. Now, this is the
Oh.
question.
Hold on, you don't have to ship your kids anywhere to discipline them. If you cannot discipline your child, the problem is you. Don't ship the problem elsewhere. Somewhere else. Deal with it. With that being said, if the price is right, I just might ship them.
Okay, so Romalito Charles. So my question to you: do you have children? And if so, how old are your children? That's just my question for you.
We'll touch base once you answer those questions.
Once you answer those questions, then I'll address that response once you answer those questions. And okay, so it says over and over.
The cup says, look what the cup says. You guys can see the cup.
I don't think
Look
they
what it
can
says.
see it. They can't see it.
Wine is cheaper than therapy. You see? All you need is a good glass of wine.
All right. So basically, guys, merging family is a beautiful thing. It is gorgeous when it's done
I can't
right.
wait to merge if that's what it is.
It is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful thing.
Then I ain't gotta have no more babies.
Hallelujah. Listen,
Yes.
this girl is not trying to have no more babies. God gonna give her 5 more.
Have to.
God gonna give you.
And then
5
whatever
more
else
for
God
not
is gonna
wanting.
bless me with in this merging, because you know nowadays it's hard to find somebody who's not. Look, I have 5. I have 3. Oh, I gave
I
you
have
5.
3
Sorry.
and the oldest is 5. Okay, talk to me when they 15.
Whoosh. When they start smelling themselves. You ain't even
When
gotta
they're
wait.
13.
Just give them till 12. They're gonna start smelling
Yeah,
themselves.
just come back and respond to that question, honey. When they're about 12, 13,
They hear that teen in the back of their number
they start seeing that little pubic hair growing under their armpits.
and other places. And other places.
All right, guys. So Psalms 127:3-5, it says, children are a heritage from the Lord. They're a gift. Their offsprings are rewards from him. So like arrows in the hand of the warrior, children are in one's youth. Guys, let me tell you, rather the children comes in through stepchild, from being a stepchild, or your own, they are all gifts. They are all gifts, because at times
I don't
we
mind these gifts. As long as I don't
I love them. I could have 20 babies. I could
No,
have
she really
30.
can.
I can have 30
She really wanted that,
babies
though.
if I could, you know, like
Bruh. We're royalty at the end of the day. So the rules I apply is I'm the queen, he's the king. Everybody else, and all of our offsprings, whether it's his, mine, ours, are of royalty. They're children, they're prince and princesses.
Okay.
You understand? So with that mindset, it's level to it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I deal with the children in a certain manner. My husband needs to be in the same accord with me, or me and him in the same accord, so that we could come together and raise these children together beautifully and harmoniously.
Okay, so what are some rules? Like what is your do not do this?
Don't talk back. I don't like talking.
No. To your partner.
Oh, to my. I was gonna say,
not to the
don't
children.
talk back.
Now let's go to the partner. Like, what are some things that you
don't
would say,
undermine.
partner? This is
don't
what I don't want you to
Yes.
be merging.
When we merging, don't undermine me. I won't undermine you. Respect me in front of the kids. I won't. I won't. I will respect you too. You understand?
Okay.
We do not have our. It is against my religion and my rules now to not argue and to argue in front of the children. Children should never be a part of our arguments.
Never.
We should never have to confine in our children when we're having issues.
Never.
Because that's not going to work. Why are you introducing a child to our issues?
Your mama no good. Your daddy no good.
And that's one of the things,
Your
one of the
mama.
rules too. Don't bad talk me to the children, and I won't bad talk you to the children, because the last thing they need to do is be confused whether to like me or not, and vice versa, whether they should like you or not based on what I'm telling them and based on what they're hearing. What they need to be seeing is of foundation. You understand me? So because at the end of the day, they're going to grow up to be somewhat of you and I.
Course,
so they need to know how to do things the right way.
Of course.
And what I seek for that is that we do it in front of them. We be transparent of love in front of them.
Because
any
keep
issues.
in mind, I agree with you, Jenny, because keep in mind, the reason why these kids are entering a merging family in the first place is because it didn't work out in the family that they were in originally.
That's it.
You understand? That's the reason why they had to be splitted. They had to go their separate ways, and now they're between mom's house and dad's house. There was an issue there. There was a situation there that caused them. So now if they were to enter another home and the same issue still exists, the same problem still exists, the same fight still exists, at the end of the day, they're going to be like,
well, this is norm.
Like,
they're gonna say no.
And why did you and mom break up for it?
Exactly. But they're gonna start taking it as norm. And what they're gonna
this
do
is what life is.
This is what they're gonna do is they're gonna take what they get as normal and bring it into their adult life.
Into
now
their
you're raising jerks and chicks that don't respect men, because now you're doing it wrong on every different level that you find a man. You understand? So no, it's no, but and the saying goes, why do the same thing over and over, expecting a different result?
Yeah, you don't want to be doing that. You don't want to be doing that at all. So it's like very simple for us to just say, okay, well, you know, since you're coming into my home, these are my rules. Because I see this is another thing that happens very often. And this happened in my past relationships where it's like, okay, well, you came and you got with me and my kids. And it was like you came into
now
the picture.
I am here. We're gonna make some new kind of rules.
You know? So this is what we do not want to do. We don't want to let the children feel like it's you against that person that's coming in, because then what happened is the children will think they have an upper hand.
Exactly.
They will think that they have. It's division, and it caused division because they will feel like, okay, well, you know what?
She ain't got no say so anyway.
You don't have no say so in what I'm doing, and I can walk in and out of the house whenever I feel like it. And in the minute that person tries to say something or do something, they're like, no. So that is definitely a don't for me. Is for you not to for you to make the partner feels like they do not belong, or they're just an outsider coming in. And a don't on the partner that's coming in for me is for them not to feel as if they have no say so either, like they have no grounds.
No,
like
they have to. They have to. Yeah, because that means they're part of it, and that goes with discipline too.
Yeah,
like I said with my, I almost said his name, with my ex. He came into the situation. He wasn't already. He came into the situation. I had to sit back and allow us to come together, but him to have a say so. If something is no, it's no, it's no, it's no. Yeah. When my son would, he tried to do it, y'all. He tried to ask me and then ask somebody, ask him and then ask me.
No, did he say what he said?
I know. I know he asked. You know, I know he asked.
Yeah.
And then he came to me, well, Mom, could I? And the first question I asked was,
what did he say?
No, not even, because if I said, what did he say? He could say whatever. I said, did you ask Daddy first? And he'd be like, yeah. What did he say? He said to ask you.
You
I said, huh?
lie from the
lie
devil.
from the devil. There's all your division right there. I
There
said,
goes
hold
the
on.
division.
I'll tell him, hold on. If my
Yeah.
husband's not there or if he's in the next room, so and so. Did you say yes? Now I said no. Thank you. Now I'm gonna beat
Now
you
you-
behind for lying. Now foot battle Pascal by Monty. And now you can't really have it.
Oh my
There you have
goodness. Excuse me.
There you have it.
Oh my gosh. I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. But yeah, it's, like definitely, without a doubt, confusion. And it can happen at any time, at all times. And it's just a matter of one little lie being told. And then the thing about it too, and I'm going to emphasize on this a little bit more, is that we as the parents have to be in a communicative level within each other.
Yeah.
Know that, hey, I'm not
Communication is
against you.
big.
You're not against me. This is not a
Yes.
battle of whose child is who. This is us raising our children.
Yeah.
This is us getting our children to the best life that, giving them the best life that they can possibly have.
Better than
And
what
that
you
is
lived,
Yeah, that is basically disciplining them properly. This is not you against me, your child against my child. I want
No,
my
this
child to
is
have
for your
better
child.
this.
This is for
this
my
is for my
child.
child. Like for
His
me, I
chicken
was
bones for here, and then you got wingettes bones for here. Like, no.
right, and you don't do that. You don't do that. Like for me, definitely without a doubt, whenever I used to go shopping for my kids, and that was before I had daughters, like I had all sons, stepsons. I've always had like
Picking out
sons.
shirts.
So it's like if I went shopping for, one of my sons, my stepson got one too.
Yeah.
If I went shopping for shoes for my daughter, my other daughter got one too. It was always like that. It was never, well, my son's gonna rock, the polo
Yeah.
shirt, and
then
your son gonna get
felines. Reebok.
No, you gotta be fair. You gotta be fair. Now, this goes to the next question that I have for you, because really, you haven't really merged. In
And
terms
I'm expecting to merge one day in Jesus' name.
Yeah, so how do you feel about, being in a relationship where there might be some unfairness like that? Because that is something that does happen, and that will be our last question for the night. And then we can go ahead and start closing. So what is like your thought process on that, on the unfairness between the parents, not even the children? We covered the children, we covered mom and
children, yeah,
dad.
a lot.
So what is, now we're in the parents. What is the unfairness?
It's just what it is. It's unfair. It's unfair to the parent. It's you're giving there was one documentary where the children had an opportunity to go to Africa for teaching, and the lady had two childs, and one of them and she two children, sorry.
Uh-huh.
And she said, don't make one child be a king. No, don't make one child be a robber and the other a royalty.
Wow.
So I was like,
Wow.
that
God
for
forbid.
real. And that's what you're doing in your house. You're creating, so that means you're making this one child feel as though this is what your kid is here. You could only achieve but this level. You could only do but so much. But you're giving the other child you're here. You're up there. You can
But
do
this
anything.
even happens inside of a household.
And inside
with
of
the
a
same
house,
parents.
exactly.
So
And
imagine as stepchildren.
Exactly. So it's like, dang, now they feel that. They feel the energy. They feel the feeling. They feel hurt. They feel the deception of a parent that's supposed to be looking for the best interest for them.
Right.
They're being hurt verbally, indirectly by the actions that they do, especially if your love language is acts of service. If your child's love language is gift giving, all of those things that will penetrate them when they see you're giving your one child J's and all name brands, and now they get Walmart clothes and Felines and Nike. Now they gotta walk through the hallway and get Nike checked and stuff and Feline checked and stuff. Listen, I'm telling you, they they understand it and then they react. And then when you look and say, why are you acting in such, you doing certain things, is because you indirectly gave them the permission to do it when you started separating
and what
limiting them.
what happens as well is that because the children reads that and the children sees it. So if you have two different children, two different relationships merging, what happens is you're already setting them up for a division within the household, because they're gonna know, especially if, let's say that the mom makes more money and the dad makes less money, but they're both merging. And so the mom's
high brands,
all name brands, and then the dad cannot afford that, so he's buying all no name. And so now they're looking at it,
I'm this,
your
you that.
Mama, you know,
pay for this, your daddy can't pay for the chicken nugget. Oh, my mama bought me a big nugget. My mama bought me a Big Mac. Your daddy bought me a two-piece dinner for $2. Two for two.
But it's true, guys. It's true, and we can cause this within the household.
You can.
We can cause it in many. It's definitely something you do not want to start, because it will start a whole heap of tornado, volcano,
natural
and before you know it, this home that you tried to come together and make a beautiful
you did it yourself
story,
to break it up.
You
or
break it up by
vision.
being unfair, by being, again, you're gonna find, times that you're not gonna agree, but
let's put it in this perspective. I got a good perspective. Put it in this perspective.
Lord.
Your ex-husband took you, the furthest he took was Orlando, but now he taking his new wife to Mexico and Bahamas and Turkey and what the? I'm done with what? So take that feeling I said that
and apply
to the children. Gave y'all some.
Yeah, no, definitely, guys. Like, it's unfair. I think all the way around. It really depends on how we play the role. I mean, Jenny, what do you have to say about, you would have my final thought for the night?
Say some people definitely take family a negative sometimes, and if you make it a negative. I've been in it in this with my, and be honest, it is hard to deal with receiving end as well as the end parent, but it's not impossible. It's not impossible. It's not something that can't happen, that we can't make a beautiful thing. Hold on. Only as good as the things we expose them to. We should ask for all of them collectively. So, continuing on, again, it can make it beautiful. You just have to make sure when you get signing up for that, what it comes with. You need to sit down with whomever it is that's going to be your significant other prior to you signing on those dotted lines, because divorce is hard, you guys, and especially if it's because of children and not because of the lack of have for yourselves. It's definitely even a harder pill to swallow. So make sure prior to borrow that level, you sit down with whom you're perceiving to be as your significant other and really talk about the serious things that you guys are expecting coming in to one household, one unit, because those are the things that's going to carry you through. Those are what you consider your foundation guidelines, and those are the things that's going to carry you through. And now they have to be accountable for what they're saying that they're bringing. You have to be accountable for what you're saying that you're bringing, and that's what's going to carry you through when things are mixed up with the kids or things. And all in fairness, be fair with the children. The children are innocent beyond innocent. They don't ask to be there, but your job as a parent is to build your child, is to speak life on your child, whether it's your birth child or whether it's your stepchild, half child, whatever. Your job is to speak. Job is to build whomever child it is, and it's not just your child or stepchild. It is any child around you. It takes a village. Your aunt, or your nephew,
Whatever
your
it
cousin, whatever. You speak life ever encounter.
Yeah.
End of the day, sometimes people don't receive that from the other end. Like if I send my child off to the other end and they're not receiving, now they're coming here and they're not receiving it. They're malnourished spiritually.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't want to send a child to be malnourished spiritually. You want to that is going to have them walk with their heads high, whether it's your stepchild, your own child. Speak life into them. Children don't ask to be here, and us as parents that brings them into it, we have to cater to them like a fragile egg. Once you drop the ball, that's it. You understand? So if you I got you. I was talking deep though, but I got you.
Yeah, pray for me. Pray for me for this girl.
No, I'm saying future husband, I probably end up loving your children before I end up loving you, boo boo. Okay.
Pray for me. All right, guys. So as always, I do, want to go ahead and give my final thought. Beautiful bow before we take off for the night. And again, I do want to say thank you to everybody that is watching, that has been watching, that jump on, jump out.
Thank you.
Thank you, James Lee. James Lee, like baby. All right, that's so much for coming on a male's point of view of what you have to say, and it really was awesome.
And that opened up the gateway for all of you other people who wants to join our lives.
You was brave, honey.
Yeah, and I appreciate your bravery. Anybody, whenever we speaking and we don't have our already male audience, because we're going to start inviting males. I promise you, we're going to start inviting males so we could continuously have our male perspective. But when we don't, you guys.
Right. Okay, so my final thought for the night and is this, and I mean this. Whenever you are entering or planning on entering into a merged family, happens quite often. Unfortunately, those merged families broken. It started from a husband and a wife not being able to work it out, or even nowadays it's not even a marriage family. It's just a person that had a child, or a man that had a child, and he ended up taking care of the child, or the woman ended up staying then with another family. But nonetheless, it happened because the family, whatever reason, they were not able to come together and stay together. So this is what I think Jenny said a mouthful already on a lot of things. But this is what I'm going to cover tonight. Whenever this happens, guys, and we merge into a new family, now I'm speaking to the outsiders first. The moms that are not active, the fathers that are not of the video, we spoke about a young lady that's battling an outside mom that was making it difficult for family to have a successful
a peaceful
merge. Now, if you are that person that's on the outside that is causing interference with that family merging, I pray that you stop. I pray that you understand is you are child. You're making it harder for the child to move forward and to be able to process what's really happening in that relationship that they are currently entering.
And we pray for healing for you.
We do. I pray for healing for you, because that is a spirit that you have. It's a fingering around you, giving you closure
Yeah.
in that
You
past
probably don't know.
relationship
Right.
that you released from, that you was released from, that you felt that, okay, well, now I gotta mess up what you have going. You can't be happy.
Or
So
you can
it
feel
don't
what
look
my
like
pain
you can
is.
feel
You know,
my pain.
misery love company. Boom.
Whatever it is, I bind and I rebuke you right
Yeah.
now in the name of Jesus. What you're not biblical. What you're doing is really hurting what can be a very good thing for
your
that child.
Mhm.
Not you, not the new woman, not the new man, but for the child. You are causing interference, and that
For the
is a
child to
spirit.
process.
That is a spirit, and I bind it right now in the name of
Yeah,
Jesus.
that's
That's
a chaotic
first of all.
spirit.
That's first of all. Secondly, I will say this for my merging families. It is a beautiful, beautiful
It
thing when you have two people that falls in love and they bring together their Brady Bunch and
Yeah, she know
they
about Brady Bunch. She got about 20 kids that I count.
I've been raising children since I was 21, first marriage, my children. So I've been around the merging experience for a very long time. I've been around little kids, big kids, whatever it is. I've been around them. And so I know the different levels of what you would face. And this is the thing you is get them in the things of the Lord. Whenever you start merging, and I'm not sure if everybody that's, but if you're not, first of all, get saved. And if you are, get them in the things of the Lord, because it says very clearly on Proverbs 20, 22nd 6, start a child off the way that they should go, and when they are old they will not from it. That is in every way. That is spiritually, emotionally, physically, financially. Whenever you start a child in a way of things that are proper, that are good, that are strong, they will remain with that structure. It's a foundation that you're giving them. So start the foundation strong.
Even though
Start
they
the
might
foundation in the things of, start the foundation in the things of finance. Teach them how to save. Teach them how to love. Teach them how to do things to the Lord.
and even when they might merge away from
Oh, they'll
that,
come back.
they'll always remember
They'll come
at
back.
least you have planted,
You
developed
planted that
mental
seed.
seed in
You
they'll
planted
stray
that
away,
seed.
but they always come back like the prodigals.
Yes,
Always
yes,
come
yes.
back.
So with that, you start that foundation right, and you implanting the things of God in them for them to make the proper steps so they can have a better spiritual life. Whatever can happen in that marriage, whatever can happen in that relationship, hopefully by the grace of God, it's not something that will mess their spirit up, but whatever will happen, they will anchor, they will be anchored in the Lord to know that God will see us through. If the family goes through a financial stress, they know God will see us through. If mom and dad is acting crazy for a minute, they will know that God will see us through. You understand? So that is the reason why you have to put that foundation in them. And we're speaking about um, this children early. We nonchalantly, we laughed about it a little bit.
It's serious.
But it's very, very serious,
Yeah.
guys. We have to make sure we can even go into the disciplinary act of, stepchildren or whichever. We have to have a conversation.
Yeah.
There has to be a
Agreed.
conversation that takes place to say, okay, babe, this is how do you discipline, and that way you both can come into a conclusion on how it's going to get done.
There's so
And
many
once
stories out
you
in the
do
news.
that, then you need to know that you and that partner you guys are a team.
Team
To
work.
become like
Teamwork make the
see how
dream
my
work.
finger
It can't even cross as much as she wants to. Y'all need to know.
You
Forget
guys
that. You
gotta
gotta be like this.
like y'all gotta be so merged that and y'all become like this, because what will happen is the spirit of confusion will happen.
Yeah.
And children will try to come between you two, rather it's through lies, manipulation. Whatever it is, mommy said I could and you said I couldn't, daddy said I could, especially daddies and their daughters. Now even James Lee said it, daddies and their daughters, honey, you know, like daddy said I could buy this, and you're like, no, you can't buy it. All of a sudden, well, you know, I'm gonna call my go call your daddy then. It can cause issues within that relationship. So my advice to you is for you to become so intertwined with each other, to know where you stand mentally, for you to have such a great level of communication, that you are not able to be broken, not by your children, not by the outside partner, the wife, the girlfriend, the ex-wife, whatever it is, to know that you have something that is straight. So that is my message for you guys today. And definitely pleased to be here. I love being here to talk to you guys. So once again, I mean, you can always reach me at 305-910-7767 if you want to invite me to a panel, you want to invite me to a presentation, whatever it is that you would like to invite us to. We go together, we ride together.
Okay, let me specify this. Okay. Walk Talk, although it says Walk Talk with Nancy, it's me and her.
Yes.
So a lot of the engagements that you guys ask us to do, which we've been getting quite a few.
We've
been getting quite a few engagements.
Yes.
From this show, pulling from this show. Let me say that.
Yeah.
Pulling from the show, we've been having some engagement requests.
We have.
And
thank you guys for doing so. I appreciate it.
And we appreciate that. And you guys will see the projects that we do with some of our viewers per request, you know, once we start developing those things. But when she say that we ride together, when she says that we ride together, a lot of the engagement, the reason why this dynamic works so well is because it's two different personalities, two different perspectives. It's two different everything. Without her, I could talk y'all ear off. Trust me, I could talk y'all ear off. But she knows how to develop and deliver certain things better than I do, and vice versa. She, girl, stop.
I can't.
Stop.
Love.
Stop. And vice
I got
versa.
so much love to give. Nobody want me to love them.
Look, we still. So without me, she can deliver, but the way that some of you guys interact comes from the way that I put my perspective and my delivery to you guys. So
we 20s.
So when we say we come together, it's for that specific purpose.
Yeah. So whenever we would do a panel or we would do any speaking engagement, I would really love to do it with my sister. And
now there's certain panels, depending on the panel.
Right.
There's certain panels you could introduce it to us, and we could say, okay, she could do it, or I could do it, or both.
Right.
But for majority of the cases,
we're together.
We're together.
We're together. I like. So I mean, of course, I told her if I have to preach, then I can't have her preaching with me. I don't know how that would work out. But other than preaching, we can preach together.
God 3:16. But
you
God
read the
so loved the world.
Anyway, you read the verses and I preach.
Right.
But yeah, you know, we could do it definitely again. We would love to be part of any panel
Projects.
To be part of any projects. We got a script the other day.
Yeah.
We got two play scripts, right? You got one, and I had gotten one.
Project,
yeah, so we had a play script invite. So yeah, you know, we are getting a little recognition.
And I think we limit ourselves to so many things that we tell you guys. Yes, we do other things. She gives you the list every week.
So
what she
anyway,
does.
myself. I am a business
We can
owner.
sing together.
I am a business owner, so everybody should know what I do already by now. But if you do not know, I am in the accounting industry.
Uh-huh.
I do taxes, I
Right.
do bookkeeping,
Right.
I do credit repair.
Financial.
I also do financial planning,
Uh-huh.
business development.
Keep going.
Budgeting, financial budgeting, and financial planning. Co-own a furniture store, and so if you if you'd like to reach me, you can definitely do so at 305-910-7767. That would be the best way of reaching me. Or you can log into www.edendreamservices.com if you'd like to see more of my services there. But if you'd like to reach her for our speaking engagement, please do so at walktalkwithnancy@gmail.com.
And
Go ahead. How can they reach you, sis?
Outside of all of her 10 things, the things that she does, I was kind of amped to say what I do also on the side, just out of pleasure, out of leisure. I am a screenwriter. I do.
Yes. She writes beautifully.
Yes, I do. Sorry.
Yes, she does.
I'm a screenwriter, and I do productions, and I also act in front of the cameras. So again, all booking information, whether it's panel speaking, events, anything like that you guys want us to come to, she gave you all the information. But you could also follow me here on Jen, my children's keeper. Again, Jen. No, it's Jenny. It's Jenny, my children's keeper, on here. Or if you want to follow me on whichever way you gotta go to Instagram, wherever your app is, you can follow me at JENN7389. 7389.
Yes.
Yeah, it's at JENN7389. Look,
and don't forget to like our
the pages.
Yes, like our
Follow.
Walk Talk page and follow us on
Tag.
Instagram as well. Tag,
Share this.
As soon as you're done watching this,
Share
please
it.
be sure to share it.
We're gonna check.
Share it. We're gonna see who shared.
You guys, we appreciate the love. We've been hitting high numbers from our
We've been
from
I think
our
our
lives.
last show was like almost 4,000 views, and then
I'm
we
not
had our
sure.
1,500, 2,000s. So we're doing really well, and it's only because of you guys.
From the sharing, from the liking, from giving
and
your friend the links.
Thank
Listen,
you.
we appreciate you guys, and we do look forward to continuing this for a long time.
Yes.
But it takes your help as well. So.
Yes, and again, as you can see, this conversation today was brought on by one of our followers, and you know,
so pour in the request.
Let us know what you want us to cover. Of course, I am really obedient to the Spirit of God putting titles and things in my spirit to speak about. But we are open to suggestions or anything that you would like for us to address as well. Is that Nancy Bazille Rear here?
Yeah, all day. No tracks.
No,
Thank you.
Yes, my hair.
So yeah. So you guys, we love you.
And don't tell me not to wear weave no more,
Rose.
Rose. I know that's what you're going to say. Like, why you wear weave? Because it's easy.
And it's fun. But you guys, thank you for joining us. We appreciate you guys.
Yeah, thank you
Again,
guys.
tag, share, like all of our pages. We'd appreciate that.
Thank you. We love you. God bless you. And again, guys, merging is beautiful. If you have to do it. But make sure before you enter into it, make sure you sit down and you have a great conversation about merging and what each partner expects in the merging experience. That way you can make sure that you are all on the same page. All right, guys. God bless you. We love you. And YouTube, we have a YouTube follower as well. YouTube, thank you for watching. We love you as well. Thank you, everybody, for your support on YouTube and Facebook. I love you. Bye.
Bye. Have a good night.
Bye, YouTubers.